What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video here, we have this 6.4 Powerstroke that has a turbo drain leaking. So we gotta pull these turbos out. And I'm gonna show you how to do it without having to take the cab fully off. All you have to do is jack the front up about 4 to 6 inches, and yeah, you're good to go. So first thing first, when you're getting ready to do that, you have to drain the coolant reservoir. So there's a drain on the rads on these. It is on the driver's side. You can't see it from out here, but it's about right here between the bumper and this cover. Then you want to unhook your batteries, because you're going to have to take this side battery tray out, take the intake out, unhook your charge pipe, unhook this charge pipe, unhook this coolant hose, unhook this coolant hose, unhook this fuel line so it'll give you more room for this charge pipe to come out. Undo this vacuum line, this vacuum hose right here that runs down along the reservoir. Leave that there because the bottom of this reservoir is actually your vacuum reservoir as well. Take this coolant hose off, and then once you have all that done, I'll show you where to go from there. So let's get this stuff out and continue on our job. So after you got everything up top undone, you're gonna come underneath and unhook the park brake cable, shift linkage, and pull the cab mount bolts out. You pull them all out except for the back two. You just kind of pull them down and leave them down, like leave them hanging down. So for the park cable, it has one of these beautiful things on it. And once you get that undone, then for this end, it just has two tabs that you compress them and pull it out. So the forward cables are kind of nice because if you pull on them, they'll come out and it'll give you slack. So then you can basically just spread that a little bit and pop it out. Cab mount bolts, they're out. Shift linkage basically just pops off of that little nub and pops out of that bracket. And then that's all freed up. And then you can lift the cab. So I have this pump cart. It's good for 1,500 pounds. And I just put a jack on it. And they go right on the cross member for the rad support. So then you're gonna lift on the center of the cab. And all you need to do is get it up about 4 to 6 inches. And to hold it there, I just shoved some wooden blocks in. So now we can go up top and start taking the rest of the stuff to get the turbo out. All right, so once you have that stuff removed, then you can see there is lots of room to get back in there and get out those up pipes. And that EGR crossover pipe right there, you'll have enough room by the firewall to snake it out and get it out of there. Now for the up pipes, it is best to spray the crap out of them down with some penetrating oil. I use something called Thrust. It's from Castle. I find it works pretty good. It's one of the better lubricants that I have found and penetrants. And also, what you'll need is a good flex head ratchet, a 3-inch extension, and I usually buy 2 brand new 10mm impact sockets so they have nice crisp edges on them, because those up pipe bolts are a real big pain in the butt. 4 out of the 6 you can get with the shallow socket, but the 2 bottom ones, you need a 3-inch extension and a 10mm deep impact socket. Now Snap-on makes a socket that has like a narrow spot in it to get down in there, and it's a wider socket, but I find spend $10, get a socket, and There's no problems getting them out. So now you got to take the intake pipe and oil filler off, the downpipe off, the oil feed to the turbos off, the fuel cooler off, the heat shield for the turbos off. This little pipe here has to come off. And then there are two 15 mil bolts, one down here, one down there, that have to come out. Then basically your turbo is ready to get on out of there. So after you've got all that unhooked, what you want to do is take a pry bar, go under here between the intake runner and the turbo housing, and then get another pry bar and go between the compressor housing and the valve cover on this one. And then you want to try to rock it back and forth. And what that does is that will bring it up off of the two dowels that are in the bottom of the turbocharger. Once you get it off, you got to kind of angle it up and out. And then, yeah, it's all out. So now, you gotta lift her out. So that's what it looks like with the turbos out. Now the reason we had to get these turbos out is because we had an oil leak. This drain tube, somebody was in here before, and this bolt right here has a stud on it that comes up. Whoever was in here before did not put that stud bolt back in there, and this tube was bent down because it didn't quite line up, and they just kind of jammed it in there. So the tube was leaking here, and yeah, you can see here, there's not a ton of room to get the turbos out, but it is possible with the cab on. So now we got our new tube in here, and we'll go ahead and set them back in and then get everything hooked up. Like a champ. So there we go, guys. We got everything back in. Truck's running, no more leaks. And yeah, hopefully you found this helpful to be able to pull your turbos out on your 6.4 Powerstroke without having to lift the cab off. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram. And yeah, leave a comment or whatever down below. And hopefully you liked it and found some pointers. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.